Good evening, everyone. Finally, we are live on League Racing TV. It is TML F1. It is Season 8, round number 10 of the championship as we've taken the Singapore Grand Prix from the Marina Bay Street Circuit. My name is James Head. Apologies about the delay. I have been absolutely running about the mill in trying to find a commentator for F2 and didn't realise the time. I got informed 10 minutes early. It was due to be Ivan. His PS Plus has run out, so therefore you're going to have Alex doing the commentary for F2, you're going to have me for F1 tonight, which is breaking up the partnership a little bit, but I don't mind. I was going to try and get it ready for OBS as well, but just ran out of time in the end, so it's just traditional old PS platform streaming once again, and it is full wet conditions in qualifying. Who would have thought that in terms of the day? I didn't think of that at all, and only 12 drivers here tonight in Singapore. It is a little bit disappointing from my perspective, obviously very disappointing I think from your perspective as well, as viewers who are tuning in of course to the live stream here tonight. What I can do though is run you through, I hope, the updated championship standings. Now I think they were put up soon enough. Hang on, I need to have a look and see if the standings were put up. The latest ones that I had were from round 8, and it was 178 points for Black Box, Elliot second 153, Cosby in third 123. Of course that changed because we had the British Grand Prix last week. We had Black Box winning, Jerry in second, Elliot in third. Black Box now does have an extension in his championship lead, so therefore obviously leads by quite a considerable margin, maybe even more than a race wins advantage actually, over Elliot, who might be in second now in the championship, which is really good. And yeah, we are finally getting going for the racing once again. But goodness me, oh dearie me, it is an absolute cluster. Absolute cluster, I'm going to say, in terms of getting everything ready in the background. And yeah, it is a bit of a shame. It looks like the F2 stream is going to be set up very soon indeed. So apologies about if you haven't got an F2 stream so far. But there we go. All down, as I say, to Ivan's PSN running out. But yeah, top 3 of course last week were Black Box, Jerry and Elliot, and what was actually a really good race last week in Britain. Much improved driving standards. Only with 12 drivers here, you'd expect the driving standards to be very good. It is Singapore, however, so I'm not really hanging up on anything at all. We've only got 12 drivers, as I say, in. Disappointing, I know drivers, I know everyone has got a life at the end of the day, but from our perspective, everyone that signed up in tonight's race, and indeed in tonight, as we've just seen the spinner coming out of turn number 1, might be Scott Bugner perhaps coming out of turn number 2. But yeah, in terms of the racing, hopefully we get some really good action, of course, out on track tonight. I've just totally lost what I was going on about, my original point there. But Lynx is the first man out on track, hopefully going to be purring his way to success once again in talent for the Talent Factory team, and of course here for Singapore, and hopefully it is going to be some really good night worth of action here tonight. As I say, F2 is currently being set up as I speak in terms of the stream. Big thank you to my co-commentator Alex the G for stepping in literally last minute. We had a permission issue as well. I have the same role as well as Luke, so in future reference I know how to give rolls out on YouTube, and obviously with it being 10 minutes it's not really that great. But anyways, Lynx on the run down in toward the left-hander of turn number 1. Now there is an exploit actually on the inside curve at turn number 1 where Noisy put in a message to me a little bit earlier on that you run wide out of turn number 2, back off, you will not invalidate your lap. So Lynx now on a lap, looking quite good, as I say, coming through the right-hander of turn number 3. Of turn number 5 even, on the run down Raffles Boulevard, and he is on the run towards the end of the first sector. You should see a majority of drivers on a set of full wet compounder. So it is a full wet qualifying session. Lynx now coming through the left-hander turn 7 at Memorial Corner. It was a 31 flat through the first sector, already being caught there by Jerry, who was on his lap time as well. The 2 TF men are first and second, maybe hoping for that in this qualifying session. May saying in the chat, 12 drivers, I know, I really do. Yeah, it's F2 is going to be the same in terms of drivers as well. Then again, me and Aiden had WR around team on Friday last week, and we had a full grid of 20 drivers, so I'm not sure where it's all going wrong. Not sure if people are prioritising WOR and PSGL over a smaller league like TML, but that will be of course ironed out for Season 9, where more information will be released in the coming days regarding Season 9, as well as a sign-up date. And I can tell you that because we spoke last night about Season 9 in the background, and I will not hesitate. Oh, as that Lynx goes up coming in towards turn 16. It's very deep through turn 16 there. But yeah, Season 9, I can't give you the date for when the sign-ups are going to be open, but they'll be open soon. They'll be open soon. That's all I can give away. There's links now coming through the right-hand of turn 20 through turn 21. Of course, this will be turns 14 and 15 next season in Singapore. As now Lynx comes through the final corner on the run toward the line. Already around 15 seconds of dry times around here. As Lynx comes to the line for 1:55.8. And Jerry to the line as well, I think invalidated. Oh, it's actually spun through the final corner. Jerry spins coming through the final corner. And Jerry now toward the line goes second, 2:05.6. Obviously not a valid lap time in there from him. Probably would have went around the 1:53 mark, 1:54 mark, I think, in terms of that lap. But Lynx out on top, Jerry in second. Only 2 drivers on a lap so far. Hawk, I think, is on a set of Inters actually, coming towards the end of his lap. And Hawk well off the pace. You could clearly tell he's off the pace because he's on that set of intermediate compound tyres. And with Jerry spinning, he goes 6/7 behind him. Rooty, however, says maybe it is intermediate and it's a 58.3, but I would say it is more full wet conditions rather than intermediate conditions out on track. Black box is invalidated. He's coming back into the pit lane. Looks like the rain is actually easing off already in this qualifying session, so we might get into running very soon indeed. Boss Wanted, good comeback from Boss Wanted as well. He did leave the league 2 weeks ago as a result of the diabolical driving standards in Italy, and I will not hesitate to say that again on this live stream because I only like to provide the facts rather than try and blow a little bit of smoke up everyone's you-know-what. But Lynx out on top, Harry in second, Scott Bugner there in third, Boss Wanted on a lap now coming to the right-hander of turn number 8, and then through the left-hander turn number 9. Maintaining as well on the track. Yeah, I think, honestly, drivers might use an excuse, but they are scared of Singapore, to be honest. Same with, we had Monza a little bit earlier on in the season as well. It was the same with Monza in terms of the driving standards there, in terms of the amount of drivers that we had there as well. Obviously, Thursday night is a league night, obviously, for preparation for like the likes of One Hub and WOR, of course, tomorrow. And obviously, this league runs different tracks compared to those, so that is why I think drivers are not necessarily putting in the practice in the necessary, but there's a lot of different factors. I could go on a whole podcast about how many errors there are currently in terms of the league racing community and in terms of individuality, but I tend not to do that because I don't want to try and be opinionated. Lynx out on top, Harry Banks in second, Scott Bugner there in third. You might have to commission a podcast for me. Samu has retired for driving the wrong way, and that I think is coming in the pit lane. Yes, he is. I think he spun out the final corner, he's into the pit lane, and now he's being disqualified when he's coming back in the pit lane. So Samu, you've got nobody to blame there, my friend, but yourself. I think that was an error from Samu. He's obviously tried to get the shortest way back, and then he's been disqualified from the session. Not that good at all. Lynx though out on top, currently by 2 seconds over Harry Banks in second, Scott Bugner there in third. First lap times are in, and as per Scott Bugner, pit lane entry is getting monitored, as is turns 1, 2 and 3. And that is because, as I say, of an exploit that happened, that obviously was said to me a little bit earlier on before the session actually started, so therefore that is why we have got track monitoring at turns 1, 2 and 3. That monitoring is indeed me, as Carl Mentalist, the 15.8 through the middle sector, not going too bad through the right hand of turn number 14. Commenter does like this track, he told me last week at WR. It's good for driving, not so great for commentary, so I'll hold him to that if it is not one of the best races of the season. Carl Mentalist now coming to the left-hander of turn 18, nearly going into the wall underneath the grandstand. Kamui Kobayashi, Michael Schumacher, sort of esque in 2012, famously got caught in a crash underneath the grandstand, and therefore safety car had to be brought out. As Carl Mentalist now comes through the final couple of corners on the run towards the line. I think he might go quickest actually here to the line, and indeed he does. 1:55.6 from Carl Mentalist out on top. Lynx there in second. Harry Banks there in third. Boss Wanted and Hawk are having their own private race, it seems, on the set of Inters coming to the final sector. Don't want to be putting each other off. Of course, we are monitoring this in the stream, so obviously these guys will be getting looked at by the stewards if either of them do any wrong. But yeah, getting a flavour of the action, potentially, in terms of what we're seeing out on track. I mean, Boss Wanted, to be fair, is going to be quite quick on this lap. It's a 58.7 his current best. I think he's going to go around the 57 mark, so he's going to improve at least a second through the final corner, on the run toward the line. And yeah, Boss Wanted goes fourth. 57.8, had an absolute nuisance there, and Hawk, who also improved, by the way, on his lap. He was around a second slower, so that's why Boss Wanted was quicker behind Hawk, and that's why, therefore, he was right behind Hawk coming to the final sector, but they go 4th and 7th respectively. We've got the championship leader Black Box preparing up for a lap as well. In fact, I think he's on one, coming through the left-hand return, number 9. His teammate currently comments this out on top. 0.2 of a second clear of Links in second. Harry Banks there currently in third, but Black Box now on the run down towards the Singapore Sling. Of course, formerly a chicane through turns 9, 10 and 11 back in the day. Now on the left-hand return, number 10, as Black Box now comes across the Anderson Bridge in toward the left-hander of turn 13, which is the hairpin. The Marina Bay on the right-hand side of the track there. That is where, of course, the development is going to be made out on track in terms of real racing and in terms of a change to the track layout for F1 next season in real life in Singapore. As Black Box now comes through the left-hander of turn number 17. Pika Gate famously through turn 17. Jerry Gate as well in WR around here last week. He spun on the final lap and chasing down a potential top 2 finish. In the end, finished down in the field, I think 8th, but he really did not deserve that day. But Jerry has got previous experience around this track. Black Box on the run to the line is going to absolutely smash the fastest lap out of the water. 52.4. Believe in Black Box, he says, and we believe in him indeed. He's out on top, 52.4. And we're only around 12 seconds now off the predicted low-running dry times around here. It's around about where you get up towards speed. It's around a 36-37 you can do in the dry. So it's still around 14-15 seconds actually off at the moment in terms of lap times, as Lynx is now in a set of Inters. He's 5% up out of the first sector. Now coming from the middle sector, 14.2 from Black Box in the middle sector, and Lynx 13.6. You can already tell track evolution coming into play, and Lynx now coming through turn 14, looking very good indeed. Roy got there in the chat as well, saying typically Singapore, in all the seasons I've been here, there's always been a low number of drivers who've driven Singapore, and it's typical that a lot of people want it on the calendar, but they are not there to drive Singapore themselves. Yeah, totally agree with that, to be honest. Obviously the calendar is going to get announced in due course as well for season 9. That will come in a few weeks' time, I would say. But sign-ups are going to come first as a result. I can't reveal the date, as I say. So Link's now coming through the final couple of corners. Easy distraction on the run toward the line. 51.5. Goals nearly a second quicker than Black Box there in second, who in turn has just had a purple middle sector with a 112.6, I think that was, in the middle sector. So Black Box going quite good in the middle sector, improving, trying to get multiple runs in, obviously, on their lap. He has got, I think, Scott Bugner ahead of him out on the lap, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that is Scott Bugner. There is a spinner coming through turn 6. Jerry now goes quickest, 50.7. Did warn you about his pace. Now out on top. Link's there in second. Black Box there in third. But Scott is on an outlap, I think, at this stage. Black Box is coming through turn 21. He has got new pedals recently, Black Box. Maybe, if he wins the championship, he's getting himself a new rig as well, as he comes through the final corner on the run toward the line, and he goes quickest, 150.4. Good lap time as well by Scott Bugner, 51.7. But you can tell, in terms of the skill level and the wet compound size, this track really does bring us. Now Ruti goes quickest, so Ruti going quickest with a 50.3. But looking at the lap times, I mean, compare that Black Box and Scott, right beside each other. Black Box a lot quicker in intermediate compound size, and I think in general in wet conditions, compared to Scott Bugner, who's there in 5th with a 51.7. So good lap time being set. Scott Bugner, though, just lacking that little bit of skill level over Black Box. As Boss Wanton now goes third, and actually only goes 0.06 of a second ahead of Jerry, who's backed off his lap coming through the first sector. Just trying to see if there's anybody else on a lap at this stage. Neymar's approaching the end of his lap. 13.7, not too respectful in the middle sector. He'd be going around Scott Bugner commenters, that sort of region, I would think. Commenters is on a lap behind him as well. As he now comes to the left-hander, turns 21. And then through the left-hander, the double left, it turns 22 and 23. Ruti out on top, Black Box second, Boss Wanton third, 10th of a second covering the top two. Neymar now to the line. He actually goes ahead of Scott Bugner. Good lap there from Neymar. Goes ahead of Scott. And Lynx now goes quickest on a 49.3. So already in the 49s. Where is the ceiling level that we're going to get to potentially in this session? I would say, if it still enters towards the end of the session, I would say we're going to be seeing maybe a 47 from somebody, maybe even a 46. Obviously, if track evolution is key around here, at the moment we're 49s, but multiple laps, multiple runs, we might just get towards that point. There is a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. I think that is that is Black Box backing off his lap. We're on board with the AlphaTauri car mentalist. 29.9 in the first sector, 9/10 improvements. He's looking quite good as he comes to the left-hander of turn number 7. Of course, another driver that is on the wheel setup. In fact, majority drivers, I think, here in TML F1 are on a wheel setup. Now, Aiden has certainly been practicing quite a lot for this as McLaren gets out the way to the left-hand side. That is Lynx getting out the way. Commenters now trying to put it up there. Of course, part of the Esports team, formerly founded by the owner of, or the former owner of TTG Esports, Mr. X Mays, who's there in the chat. Mays, of course, founding the team. Commenters being one of the recent signings, of course, alongside Neymar, who are representing the team here tonight. Commenters now coming through the middle sector. And a 111.7 is exactly where he wants to be if he wants to try and go quickest in through the middle sector. And now through the final sectors, that's Lynx escaping up the escape road in the background. Just saw that in the back. He's gone too deep in towards 10.14. Luckily, though, I think he was getting out of the way more than anything. There's a Red Bull backed off as well. I think that's Neymar just prepping for a lap. Commenters, though, coming through the final couple of corners. Promise I'm not giving any bias for the Esports team. We've only got 1 minute and 50 seconds basically to go in the session, so there's quite a lot still up there. Scott Bugner, by the way, has gone second and only 100th of a second off Lynx. Commenters, though, smashes them out of the water. 48.2, already looking towards the 47s. Lynx there in second, Scott Bugner in third. He's invalidated on his lap. Just trying to see if there's anybody else. Jerry, 110.3 in the middle sector, so around a second quicker than Commenters. This is now looking Joe for pole. Clips the wall out of 22. Just about keeps the car in a straight line. And that was sketchy, but it's a 46.4 from Jerry, and he goes quicker than Commenters. This is a really interesting qualifying session. Commenters invalidated. Lynx is just preparing up for a lap. Scott Bugner is just preparing up for another lap, I believe, as well. And let's see who's towards the end of his lap. Elliot is on a lap, but he's actually invalidated. So we're going board with Boss Wanted, who was a second up, coming through the first sector. Jerry out on top, Commenter second, Lynx in third with a minute to go here in Singapore. Deep in towards 10.14 there from Boss Wanted. From the NLR team, of course. So now comes down in towards the right-hander. 110.3 is matching Jerry in that middle sector. So this is a good lap from Boss Wanted at this moment in time. As now we go through the right-hander, turn 16, and then to the left-hander, turn 17. As I say, Pico Gate, the first ever Singapore night races. Black Box is retired from the session. That is in the pit lane, so he is done. Championship leader, starting no worse at this moment in time than 6th position. But Boss Wanted improving. He is going to be dropped down to 7th, and maybe even drop down, maybe even outside the top 10, if and only if he is not lucky with Routine Hulk on a lap as well, as they come toward the line. Boss Wanted to the line, 46.3, and I think I just saw DRS getting enabled out on track as well. DRS has just been enabled, I think, out on track, and Rooty is on a set of soft compound tyre. This is interesting. I think the timer might be off slightly, but no, Rooty's done. Rooty is done. He's run out of time, so Rooty is not going to get a lap time in on that set of soft compound tyre, as Lynx now goes quickest, 45.3. Boss Wanted, 28.8 in the first sector. Not too bad at all. Jerry is backed off his lap. He is done. Commentalist has just started on one, I think. Neymar goes third. Good lap time from him. Elliot is coming to the Singapore Sling. What number with him? Lynx out on top. Harry Banks in second. Neymar on third. Nobody is on a set of soft compound tyre. That means everyone that you're going to see is on a set of inters at this moment in time. With the rain stopped, track drying, this is going to get increasingly difficult. Elliot, though, smashes the middle sector. 108.5 in the middle sector. Has he got enough time left, though? Is there enough grip? There's still rain falling in the final sector, actually, coming through the Marina Bay section, through 17. Elliot is on one here. Can the Ferrari man keep it up? The track grip is going to really lose time now through this final sector. and Lynx is out on top, 45.312 to beat. Elliott looking like he's going to do this. He now comes through into the final couple of corners. This is easy, going to be quicker than Lynx. Through the final corner, on the run to the line, 43.9, and Elliott goes quick as what has Boss Wanted doing. Boss Wanted, to be fair, is not too far off. He comes through the final corner, and he invalidates through the final corner. Commentless as well, pushing to the limit. He comes through under the underpass of turn 21. Commentless now, trying to spoil the party. Can the AlphaTauri come through the final corner on the run to the line? Yes, he does! 43.931. Commentless will be absolutely fist-pumping at this stage. He is out on top. He is on pole position with a 43.930. Elliott, I thought, had it, but Commentless steals the show, steals the fastest lap in qualifying, and he takes Quickers with a spooky-looking celebration. Commentless out on top. Elliott in second. Who said, with 12 drivers, we couldn't deliver you a qualifying session like that? 300ths of a second, covering the top two, for goodness sake. Lynx there in third, Harry Banks there in fourth, Scott Buckner in fifth, Neymar there in sixth, Boss Wanted in seventh, Jerry in eighth, watch out for him in the race, Rooty as well, watch out for him, Black Box as well, watch out for him. Those are the three I'm looking at maybe for podium. Hawk and Samu down at the back of the field. Very, very good qualifying session. Who on earth said Singapore couldn't deliver in terms of on-track action? That was a great qualifying session, hopefully more to come in the race, and hopefully it's going to be a dry start to the race as well. Please? Yes, it is. It's going to be a dry race to start us off here for TML F1. Of course, no formation up, and a set of soft compound tyres I can see there in the Mercedes garage, on the alternative side of the Mercedes garage. And it's actually weird because I've just weirdly clicked on the Mercedes. That is the Mercedes garage on the left-hand side. Number 8 is taken up by a car, and then number 10 is taken up by a car. What's in the middle of number 9? Answers on a postcard, please. Bit like Deal or No Deal. What is in the pit box of number 9 on the left-hand side? 30 seconds to go. Let me know as well in the predictions for your top 3 in the chat. Bloodmania saying as well, so James, when do we lose the F1 Sky Sports? A few years yet, my friend, I hope. A few years yet, and you will be so much better on Sky Sports. Thank you very much for that. Hopefully, it is a career goal of mine to go to F1 Esports, F1 Sky Sports. But yeah, 5 red lights now coming on here in Singapore. Round number 10 of the championship about to begin. And it is lights out and away we go, and Commenters gets a very good start off the line. Elliott bogs down slightly, and Lynx I think has got the better start of everyone. Lynx now to the inside line of turn number 1, tries to get the job done. Commenters hangs them on the outside. Everyone's clean through I think in the background. Lynx through the inside of turn number 3. Has got the lead of the race from Commenters there in second, who tucks back in the slipstream. Elliott there in third, the front 3 already 8/10 a second. Clear of Harry Banks, the former TML F1 champion, in fourth. They fly through the left-hander, the right-hander, turn number 5. Now down Raffles Boulevard for the first time. Lynx leads the way. Commenters in second, Elliott in third, and there's nearly 3 wide in the background. That is Black Box and Scott Bugner, who goes to the inside line. Scott Bugner through and he's into fifth, holds a position. Black Box there in sixth. Boss Wanton on that side of mediums is making progress to the inside line of turn number 8. Nearly hems off Jerry in toward the wall. Just about gets away with it, and Boss Wanted through and he's into 8. Good racing there, and Rooty's right on the back of Black Box just in front as well. Now down in towards the Singapore Slinger the first time. It's Lynx out on top, Commensurus in second, Elliott in third, and already holding a 1.1 second lead over the Anderson Bridge to fourth in Harry Banks, who's there in the Aston Martin. Black Box right on the back of Scott. Everyone hopefully going to get through safely. Jerry does like a dive bomb down the inside of the hairpin. We saw that in WR on Friday. And Boss Wanted hangs on that set of medium compounded tyres. Patience is a virtue around here in Singapore. Everyone is clean through in the background. Yes, there was a bit of scrimmaging and squirming in the background, but everyone I think has got clean through. Otherwise, we might see somebody at least come into the pit lane. Can't see any front wing damage on anyone, so I think they've all got clean through. Lynx leads the way from Commenters there in second. Elliott there currently in third as now come through the left-hand return 21 for the first time, and Lynx is looking now a little bit more imperious out in front from Commenters there in second, who really gave him a fight in towards turns 1, 2 and 3. Lynx sets the fastest lap of the race. Commenters there in second, 1 Elliott there in third. They can now come across the line. Everyone clean through on lap 1. Nobody coming into the pit lane as Boss Wanted tries to make up ground on that side of medium compounded tires. The only one being on that side of mediums. It's not the quickest strategy around here. It's hard to mediums, and that's probably why having a bit of a squirm coming out of turn number 3. Blinks leading the way. Scott Bugner right on the back, and actually Scott Bugner I think has just been in the wall slightly. He's just made a mistake. Has he got left side end plate damage on the car? Can't see any. But Scott Bugner now under pressure from Ruti. To the inside line goes the Finn. Tries to get the job done for the Scuderia Russell team now, not formerly of LFR, and he makes contact there, Scott Bugner, with the back of Ruti. I think Boss Wanted was trying to get through in all of that as well. Boss Wanted actually does get through in all of that. He's finished into 7, and now, side by side, Jerry and Scott into the Singapore thing. These guys know better than this. To be fair, they've got through cleanly. Jerry on the inside line gets finished into 8th, and Scott must have damage on that left side end plate. He is struggling with a lot of understeer, a lot of oversteer through the corners as well. I think there might be a winglet missing on that left side end plate potentially for Scott. He's all the way down in 9th position after starting the lap in 5th. But now, brakes beginning to happen as a result of that Ruti battle. Black Box is now on the back of Harry Banks, and he's nearly gapped him to around a second. 4th and 5th position currently out on track. David Charhood saying, is there a stream for F2? I believe there is. I was led to believe there is anyways. Hang on. I will have a check. I think there is for F2. I can't see it live, whatever it is. So I will, unless somebody can point me in the comment section to is there a stream for F2, that would be great. In the meantime though, Scott Bugner into the pit lane, and Black Box right on the back of Harry Banks down towards turn 1. Scott obviously got damage, and Black Box goes into the back of Harry Banks! And he makes contact, left side end plate. That was silly. Silly from Black Box. The championship leader knows better than that. He spins one of his rivals, or his former rival, in Harry Banks, who's round. Boss Wanted has also gone for a spin, coming out of turn number 3 as well. Carnage coming through as Black Box I think is going to get the way of Jerry, which I think is fair play. He's got left side end plate damage on the car. Jerry there down in 5th, Black Box there currently in 6th position. May same as well with the standings. Elliot, Black Box in 178, and Elliot in 153, and Black Box now with damage is getting out of the way. Pretty much everyone out on track. This is an absolute disaster for the championship leader, and I think honestly, if I was him, I'd probably get out of the way of everyone just so you don't land yourself in the steward's room at this point. Black Box on, getting out of the way of Hawk. Fair play to him, gets out of the way of everyone, and Harry Banks, as a result, spun. There was just a slight bit of contact, really minimal in it, in terms of contact. It's enough to send the car around on this game, unfortunately, and I think Harry Banks, wrong place, wrong time, just got absolutely, well, not sideswiped by Black Box, but there was contact, but again, on a very minimal level. The stewards, of course, will have a look at that. But the championship leader, out of contention at this early stage anyways, and there's a yellow flag in sector 2, and that is Boss Wanted, who's gone straight on, coming in towards turn 13. Not sure what's going on. As Boss Wanted retire out on track, I'm not sure maybe if there's something going on with his setup potentially, but retiring out on track and leaving the session doesn't really sit well with me, to be honest. Links out on top, commenters in 2nd, Elliot there in 3rd. Currently there, the top 3. Bloodmania saying, yeah, aka new braking pedals. He has got new braking pedals. But even with that, I think he knew his braking point on the first 2 laps from down in towards turn 1. So surely, I think that would have been enough to obviously not make contact. But there we are. I'm just seeing it from a different way. Scott Bugner has picked up a 5-second penalty for corner cutting as well. And he, I think, is going to be back in the pit lane. He's got no front wing. And that is an invisible front wing. Comes in the pit lane. 3-second penalty. Now 5 seconds of swimming in the pits. And this should be a retirement, I think, for Scott Bugner. But look at that! No front wing on the car! That is an absolute joke! No front wing on the car. We've got a sports livery update. And already, lap 4 out of 31, I'm complaining again, which is not good. Scott Bugner into the pit lane. No front wing, changing to a front wing, even though there was a visible front wing, and there was winglets underneath the car, quite literally. Make of that what you will. Links out on top. Commenters there in 2nd. Elliot there in 3rd. And again, it just highlights, I think, the importance of the game, and in terms of actually fixing updates that are broken. Because this one, in terms of OBS, was absolutely fine for me. But in terms of what I've heard, it's caused a lot more issues to features that are obviously very valued within the game. But there we are. We can have a whole chat and a whole rant about that, to be honest, if you want. in the racing for F1 tonight. If anything goes a little bit dire straight, then please keep me entertained with your wise wisdom about the game. Because, of course, any comments that we have towards the end of the season about the game, about the integrity of this game, will get fed into our feedback for season number 9, or leading in towards season number 9 as well. As that leader's on the back of comments. So that's running down in towards the turn 7 at Memorial Corner. Not quite close enough. Ruti and Jerry, former teammates, Jerry and Ruti, 4th and 5th position. Mercedes on the back of the McLaren and looking quite strong. If I was in these two boats, I would get a quick man in front. I think that would be Jerry at this point. And then work together to try and catch the leaders, because the DRS zones are going to be quite potent around here. They're going to gain around 5/10 of lap potentially if these guys work together in front. If they don't, Ruti and Jerry will be on the back of them before too long, you would imagine. As just looking, by the way, in F2, there is okay. So there was an error code that popped up, and PS support doesn't even have a page for it. So that is why Alex couldn't stream, I think, F2 tonight as a result of a support issue, it seems. We're experiencing high traffic and can't view anything. That's a shame. Looks like it might be a little bit of a glitch there on Alex's end, so apologies about no F2. Means you just get to listen to me for the next however long we've got in this race. Probably next hour and a half, judging by F1 standards this season. Links out on top. Comments us in second, Elliot in third, but already Ruti and Jerry, you can tell they're working together. 3.3 seconds the gap, and they are catching already on the back of the front three. We're not obviously going to try and go for any moves at this stage. Chalker's saying as well in the Discord that it's his grand's birthday, so happy birthday to Chalker's grand. Not like you're going to be listening or anything, but very happy birthday. At least there's more important things to be doing. As Jerry now passes Ruti down the inside line in towards turn number 7. Gets the job done. Throoney's into 4th. These two do know how to battle, by the way, Jerry and Ruti. I've seen these two go at it before here in Singapore. I think it was EML Premier last season. I saw these two going at it for different teams. Certainly had their own fair share of fighting as well. And Jerry Throoney's into 4th. And Ruti now, as a result of low battery, can't really keep up to the back of Jerry there. As Elliot's on the back of comments, is coming across the Anderson Bridge. But there we go. Leading the way is Links there in the lead. Comments there in second. Elliot there currently in third. Not sure what that comment is. I can't understand, unfortunately, that language. We're only in English here for the UK. I wish I had better Spanish or whatever language that might be. I can't though. I really can't. I failed GCSE Spanish, so I still wonder. I can't really interpret that. Links out on top. Commenters there in second. Elliot there currently in third. Jerry there in 4th. Ruti in 5th. Neymar, Samuel, Hawk, Harry Banks, Blackbox top 10. Scott Bugler the only one continuing on. Lost wanted, of course, out of the race after retiring out on the track for the mistake of turn 13. And speaking of a mistake, Harry Banks has just gone round coming through turn 17. And Jamie saying that is Spanish. It's good. I can recognise a language. That's at least one thing that I didn't learn at school. There we go. Links leading the way. Comments us in second. Elliot there in third. The front three battles, the one we're focusing on at this moment in time. Do you know what? I'm going to try and plug that into Google Translate and try and respond in English to that question. I'm not going to do Spanish, but there we are. Right, so give me a second. I will keep commentating in the meantime if I can, but this is Google Translate Hour with James Head in Singapore. Never thought I'd be doing this, but there we are. Links on top, comments us in second. Ellie there in third. Oh, dearie me. Jerry there in 4th, Ruti there in 5th. And Blackbox has just set the new fastest lap of the race as well. I've got the good race pot, so thank you very much for saying it's a good race so far. And hang on, my Google Translate is now not working, so I've only got Buena La Cara, and that says good race, so I'll take that as a compliment, I think, in terms of that. Something about repetition maybe on there. I'm really struggling to understand Spanish. Oh, here we go. Right, hang on. Didn't expect Google Translate to be involved in this race. I didn't expect Elliot to be on the back of commenters coming to the left-hander of turn 17. That's what I'm trying to care about at this stage. And Elliot is on the back of commenters, right on the back of him, the Frenchman. on the back there of the Brit. Lynx, I think, made a mistake coming into the grandstand then. Comments this is under so much pressure. We'll come to the Google Translate in a bit. That was a huge snap of oversteer from the AlphaTauri. Not looking comfortable at all. And the Ferrari, you would imagine, senses that he can get second position. And if I was Elliott, I'd probably try to get the move done sooner rather than later, because pit stops will come earlier in this race than what you guys might be thinking at home. Blinks leading the way, commenter second, Elliott in third. Second and third battling again and going a big snap of oversteer there from Elliott coming out of turn number 5. And now running down the straight, he's closing in and Commentless into the wall! Commentless into the wall, I think he's got wheel issues potentially. Right on end plate damage potentially on the car. Unless something is going on in the background. Commentless now under so much pressure. Elliott is there. Commentless, I've got to be honest, is just there ready for the taking, and if he doesn't get the move done, Jerry and Rucci's going to be on the back within 3 laps. Link's leading the way. He's trying to escape the way down the road. Commentless there in second, and then Elliott there in third, but Commentless into the wall, coming out of turn number 6. Really weird place to do that. And now under pressure from Elliott, he's not going to get the job done down the straight in towards the right-hand of turn 14. Oh, bit of a scary moment there for the Brits, down in second. And look at Jerry and Rucci. Rucci now the slower driver. He's keeping up with Jerry. Jerry is using his pace to catch up to the front 3. So it could potentially be a 5-way battle for the lead of this race. But yeah, doing a good job at this moment in time. Out on track. I wish there was a way you could actually copy a message onto Google Translate from YouTube. Haven't invented that yet. Elon Musk needs to take over, I think. Links leads away, comments in second. Elliott in third. And look, Jerry now 1.8 seconds. 1.8 seconds now the gap. Rucci there in 5th, doing a good job. But Links at this moment in time, now suddenly getting caught by Commentus. Links made a mistake that I haven't seen. Commentus on the back of him. Everything now getting a little bit on edge for the front 3, it seems. They pull away down the straight. But Link's comments as Elliott still currently the top 3. I've got an iPad, Jamie, so that's probably why I can't think. Again, Elliott through the middle sector, right on the back of Commentless. Coming through the left-hand return 9 this time. Or coming through the left-hand return, yeah, turn 8. But now in towards the Singapore thing at turn number 9. Link's is under pressure from Commentless, but Commentless is in a sandwich pocket here. He's really under pressure from Elliott, and Elliott's all over the back of him, coming across the Anderson Bridge again. The Frenchman knows that Black Box is in the top 10, knows that he's going to be losing points, and knows that Elliott potentially could, if he gets Commentus and Links, and we have no safety cars, no VSCs in this race, and it stays as it is, and Elliott retakes and takes P2 and P1, Elliott will gain 20 points as a result, so therefore it'll be a 5-point advantage for Black Box going into the final 2 rounds of the season. Wow, this is very interesting indeed. Links leading the way, Commentus there in second. And then in third it is Elliott, Jerry there in 4th, Rucci there in 5th, and look at Jerry, now within Slipstream, now within DRS. This race has now got very interesting indeed. Links leading the way, Commentus in second, Elliott there in third, and Jerry and Rucci now within this fight, and now they are up for this fight as well. It'll be... no, I thought it was 25 points. 178 to 153 pre-race. 25. So if he gains... Elliott gains over Black Box, 30 to 10 is 20. So it'll be a 5-point advantage. That's my quick math. As I say, I failed math as well when I was at school, so... you're literally listening to the weakness of my childhood at this stage. Link's leading the way, Comments in second, Elliott in third, and now it seems like the top 3 have upped their pace once again, because Jerry's just dropped over there to second, and Rucci there in 5th, trying to hold on. But it's really fascinating race. Again, Comments coming out of the middle sector is not happy at all. Either with setup, either with wheel issues. Something is going on for the AlphaTauri man. I can't plug on what. I know he's got a cat, so the cat might have come in front of the screen. Just gonna throw that one out there. But yeah, interesting stuff. Links, Comments with Elliott currently the top 3. On commenters, hits the curb, coming out of turn number 17. He is now under so much pressure. The Ferrari man has to try and get this job done. If not, he's got Jerry on the back end of him. And judging by WR on Friday around here, Jerry does not wait for anybody. And that might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. But Jerry now is within this fight, and Rudy, because of his low ERS, has been dropped. So it's a front four battle. Link's leading the way from Commentus in second, Elliot in third, Jerry in fourth. I wish I could bring you more action further down the field. This is the battle we've got though, for the race lead, for second and third at this stage as well. Coming through the right hand with turn 5. Now down Raffles Boulevard. Elliot again seems so slow down the straight. Commentus has got a more straight line speed set up, hunkered down on that car, and he pulls away from Elliot. He doesn't use up any ERS. And again, Commentus sliding his way, coming out of turn number 7. All over the back at this stage. Still haven't got, by the way, to my Google shot, my Google Translate job. So give me a second. I will try and decipher something. I will come back to that a little bit later on. I can't do it. Links, comments as Elliot, Jerry, front 3 and front 4, with Jerry, of course, on the back of these guys. Samu and Neymar, 6th and 7th at this stage. There's nothing going to happen, I don't think, further down the field. They're all running a single file train at this stage. But Neymar and Samu now will battle further down the field, which we can bring you. 6th and 7th position. Obviously, I'll be trained to a bit of bias, I think, in terms of running on board for the top 4 of the race. But Samu and Neymar, quite close. 6 cents per second. Samu's had a good start. Position gains, by the way, off the start, which I forgot to mention on lap 1. Samu, most positions gained 5. Neymar staying where he is at this point. Hawks gained 3. Jerry and Ruti have gained 4. And Lynx has gained 2. But there we are. Lynx leading the way, comments a second. Elliot in third. Jamie there saying as well, TML turn into Spanish confirmed. No. Adios. Ruti, adios into the pit lane, it seems. For him, as he now comes into the pits. Set of mediums will go on. This is exactly where I expected some of these guys to pit, to be honest. Ruti into the pit lane. He's going to have Hawk out in front of him, but by a little bit of a distance. So Ruti is going to be out in very clean air, I think, at this stage. Coming out the pit lane. Aston Martin of Harry's coming down the straight behind him. Shouldn't be too bad for Ruti. Coming out the pit lane. And there we are. One wheel dipping over. Oh, that's a little bit sketchy on the exit. That will be looked at for sure. Samuel on the back of Neymar. Not quite close enough. Again, though, Elliot on the back of Commentalist. Second and third position. The hards normally do last longer, but it's because of the tyre wear around this track. The new setups really provide that extra weight to carry on these tyres, and it's an extra burden, basically. Think of it as adding extra weight at the gym. You add extra weight in the gym, obviously A, to get fitter, first and foremost, but B, you add it to obviously gain you that extra weight. And that's basically what these tyres are doing to this car on this track. They are hunkering down, and that's why you're getting excessive life of tyre wear. Looking at Elliot on board, through the left-hand of turn 17, right side, the front wheel, that black middle line going through the middle of the tyre, that's blistering. And already, lap 12 out of 31, they're blistering at this stage. I don't think there'll be a 2-stop strategy. It should be a 1-stop. These guys, of course, will continue on, maybe beyond the halfway stage, and then pick the set of mediums, which normally can only last around 12 or 13 laps. So Ruti tried to do something quite unorthodox, but that is to try and get him in this race. All of these guys continuing on. The further they go into this race, the further they are from a real undercut from Ruti on that set of medium compounded tyres. And if that's the case, and if these guys continue on for at least 2 or 3 more laps, Ruti is potentially going to be in this race lead when all of these guys pit. So that's what they've got to bear in mind, all of these. Links out on top, Commentus in second, Elliot in third, Jerry in fourth. And Ruti is catching Hawk very quickly indeed. Hawk really struggling with his pace here tonight, the German. Down in 7th position. Ruti there in 8th at the stage. And good to see, actually, Ruti in. We were going to get Timon Voss in tonight as well. I'm not sure if you guys may know him from any other leagues. But Timon Voss is a very good driver. We were going to get him in. We couldn't vouch for his pace or racecraft, though, so that is why we didn't have him in tonight. Of course, Timon will be welcomed in potentially for Season 9. This is obviously the final 2 races of the season, so I don't think we'll be getting anybody else in for this stage. Certainly in F1. Oh, as Elliott makes a mistake coming through the right-hand of turn 16 there, now through 17. And Jerry right on the back of him. Going maybe a little bit impatient at this stage, maybe wondering Elliott's tyres beginning to drop off. Of course, different tyre wear as well, or different setups will give, of course, different tyre wear levels. So with Elliott, he's running wide now at corners, so that means, as Ritty's gone through and Hawk down towards turn 16. Ritty gets through at turn 16 on Hawk. I'm not sure if he let him through there, but Ritty through anyways, and into 7. Hawk is struggling like mad here tonight. In 8th position. Samuel and Neymar are still within 8/10. Nothing has really happened in terms of that battle. Something might happen here though, down the straight. Links, comments list, Elliott, top 3, Jerry in 4th, everyone running a flat out single line down into the Memorial Corner. And just about holding on at this stage. If you are, by the way, tuning in and expecting F2, F2 would have been live tonight. However, Alex has been having a few technical difficulties in terms of getting his PS4 to work, and therefore couldn't connect in time, and therefore there is no stream for that. So yeah, he basically has had the same issue as every single one of our commentators had in the past, and that is an error has occurred, but I'm assuming it's because I might be streaming at the same time. But then again, we've streamed at the same time with Sea Leagues, and we haven't had a really different, as Elliott's nearly into the pack of commenters. Commenters sliding his way out of turn 14 as well. Jerry is right on the back of Elliott. If he's learnt a lesson from Friday, it's not to go for a move that's not going to be his. But watch out for him in this race. I did say warn him. Watch out for him in this race. At least one of Jerry, Rooty, Black Box. Rooty on that side of mediums is going to be dangerous. Jerry on this side of hards is going to be very dangerous short term. And then Black Box on the side of mediums, you can probably forget about him in this race unless there's a safety car or a VSC. Yeah, Link's leaned away from commenters there in 2nd, Elliott there in 3rd, Jerry there in 4th. There are comments just came through. I'm not sure if it's our resident spam bot potentially. Oh, it's Ivan Tonchik. It's Ivan Tonchik, not our resident spam bot. Thought you were our resident in waiting there, as Elliott again onto the back of comments is coming through turn number 7. Ivan really hasn't missed much, to be honest. Jamie saying as well, the livery updates are cool. Yeah, I agree. I really agree. To be honest, to me, as a commentator, it doesn't really make any difference. If you see the move from Samu down the inside of turn number 7 at Memorial Corner, Samu through and he's into 5th. So that was the move there. Neymar under pressure for the first time, and the pressure cracks. Samu through and he's into 5th. Neymar on 6th. Rooty in 7th. Gap to the leader, 22.7. By my calculations, Rooty is going to be around the 2.5 clear of these guys when they decide to come in the pit lane at this stage of the race, as Jerry looks to the inside on of Elliott and try and get the job done. Thanks, comments as Elliott, Jerry 3rd and 4th, and Jerry just had a slight bit of a misgear there. I'm not sure if you heard that. We haven't got a replay cam running tonight, but Jerry just sort of missed his gear slightly, or had a little bit of a misfire in the throttle. Very strange to hear. It was only very, very slight, but it was noticeable. Certainly noticeable. Links, comments list, Elliott, Jerry still continuing on for another lap. And Rooty is going to be loving this at this stage. You'd be hoping that the mediums can get to the end. It will be a real big shot if the mediums can get to the end. I'd probably honestly favour one of these 4 to win. But Rooty will have the undercut on these guys later on in this race when they decide to pit in. This is tactical. Scott Bugner has retired in towards the Singapore thing. That might be a safety car coming out. Indeed it is. Safety car deployed. Out on track. We're reaching down at turn 7 even, not the Singapore thing. Down at turn 7 has gone straight on into the barrier. He's locked up, obviously, gone into the wall. Wasn't fighting with anyone. That's done completely by himself. So Scott Bugner down out of the race. Black Box now back in this. Down in 10th position though. He's got a mountain to climb. Still, even with the safety car out, he does want to try and win this race. But now the safety car is out, I honestly think it benefits the hard runners more than the mediums at this stage, because they're not really... Rooty potentially could gain into the race lead, but the safety car takes away his advantage that he had. So there is a potential, and I'm saying there is a potential because I think Rooty will probably come in the pits. There is a real potential for the top four, Samu and Neymar, and every single one of these drivers to come in for a set of medium compounder tyres. And obviously think, as Black Boxes came out on a set of Inters, Black Box again out on a set of intermediate compounder tyres. And that is, again, a game glitch, I think, from his perspective. Unless the rain is going to come. Don't think it is. Black Box there in 10th. As now the leaders decide to come into the pit lane. Link's leading the way. Comments a second. Everyone filtering into the pit lane. Elliot there in 3rd. Jerry there in 4th. All in. Samu and Neymar, they can decide to stay out if they want to. And they do. Neymar's in, but Samu does. Because Samu does that. Oh! What the? Eh? Samu leads. There's no rain out on track. Lynx has gone onto a set of Inters. Elliot's gone onto a set of Inters. Jerry's on a set of Inters. And there's Rooty. And there is Rooty behind Lynx coming out the pits. Oh my goodness me. Rooty has now just been handed, potentially, the race win. Commenceless as well, on a set of mediums. I'm absolutely flabbergasted. This game always produces something, every single race I do. I have seen glitches before, of drivers being selected onto a set of mediums by the, on a set of Inters by the game. It was only limited to Black Box. Now, it's limited to nearly half the field that's going. Samu, by the way, still leads. He's on the safety car. Link's in 2nd on a set of Inters. Elliot in 5th on a set of Inters. Jerry in 6th on a set of Inters. And the game apparently is esports already. That's all I can say in terms of that. The game is esports ready. Black Box are continuing on that set of Inters. Unless there is rain due, and it starts absolutely teeming down of rain, why would this stay out? Why would they stay out? I'm absolutely dumbfounded. In 10 years of doing league racing commentary, I'm absolutely dumbfounded as to what's just happened there. Absolutely speechless. Samu leads. Link's in 2nd, Rooty in 3rd, Commentus in 4th. I've been saying honestly red flag this, yeah. The track looks pretty red. We're not going to be BTEC FIA, unfortunately. As I say, if it's a game glitch, then they will tell us it's a game glitch, but not really on. Not really on from our perspective. We paid good money for this, and then these drivers just get absolutely crapped on in terms of their sim. But they are all staying out, which is even worse, even mad. Unless, as I say, there's rain due in the next 5 minutes, because it does look cloudy over the circuit. Even though it's night, it does look cloudy over the circuit. You can tell that by the glow on the glow on the buildings. Samu leads the way. Link's in 2nd. Rooty there in 3rd. Commentus there in 4th. To me, they are all on a set of intermediates. Jamie saying may be right. It could be a spectator glitch. It could be a spectator glitch, and if that is the case, I may as well just end the stream here and tell you what's going on. But Black Box is coming in. Black Box is into the pit lane. So, set of Inters that he is on. And now he goes set of softs. So now fixes that and goes in for set of soft compounder tyre. So if it is a spectator glitch, answer that then. Answer that. Black Box on for set of soft compounder tyre. I think he's got no option really. Samu leads the way, Link's in 2nd, Rooty in 3rd. I can only put it down, as I say, to a potential game glitch there for the guys who've selected, or the game has selected them onto the wrong tyre, even though they have selected the correct setup to go on, and the correct strategy to go on. That is all I can say from my perspective as well. I know Blackbox does stream on Twitch, I think, so he might be streaming on Twitch. If he is, then obviously Soft Compound Tire might be looking right now on mine, unless he's gone set of softs onto a set of inters and then has just completely playing with my mind. I do not know. But there we are. I'm going to have a look in the Discord, see what's been said in the Discord. No, nothing being said at all. Really, really strange. Safety car's still out. We haven't got black box on the back of the safety car yet. Sammy leads the way. Links in second. Ruti in third. Commensus in fourth. Elliot in fifth. Jerry in sixth. Neymar seventh. Harry Banks in eighth. Hawk in ninth. Black box ran off the top 10 on the set of softs, and there's only 10 cars going in the Singapore Grand Prix, the TML Season 8, and everyone on that set of what claims to be intermediate compound tires are staying out. But Harry Banks is in. Harry Banks is in. And Hawk is in as well. Are they thinking softs? Gotta be thinking softs if it's not gonna rain in this race. Gotta be thinking softs. Softs in for Harry Banks. And that looks like softs as well for Hawk. So they're coming into the pit lane. So the soft compound tyres goes on. Black box back into the pit lane now. And he is going on to a set of intermediate compound tyres again. My silence says it all. My silence says it all. And as I say, this game is claimed to be esports ready. Even though, I know for a fun fact, F1 esports is going on at this moment in time. F1 esports is going on at this moment in time. And I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's going on in this race anymore. It's, honestly. Esports is just finished. No, oh yeah, it's a 50% race now, isn't it? Yeah. I thought it was qualifying in the race. But, yeah, I don't know what's going on, to be honest. Links, Elliot and Jerry in black box on a set of inters, according to my screen. Safety car, by the way, I think should be in this lap, so we will find out what tyres they're on, eventually. And Sammy backed off the safety car. Safety car coming in this lap. So all of your questions are now, including mine, are going to be answered. Oh, this Lynx nearly goes into the back of Samu. Goodness me, coming down to turn number 14. May say poor James. Yeah, I always get landed with the blow of this. It's raining! It's raining! That is why they've gone into a set of inters. It's raining! It's not a spectator glitch. It's raining out on track. Samu leads the way. Lynx in second. Ruti in third. If you thought the Singapore Grand Prix was going to get any crazier, now it is. It's raining out on track. And this is why you don't put me in a position. There we go. The rain is here. Samu leads the way. And already goes. So, oh, I thought he was going to go. Safety car's still not into pit lane. Now Samu will go. Coming to the left-hander. The rain has started. And now, with a real messy restart, look at the start that Commensus has got to the inside of Ruti and Lynx. Two McLarens, side by side and towards turn number 1. Tries to get the job done, Commensus. It's not Inters just yet. Commensus then he's into third. It's clearly dry still. Samu leads the way. Ruti to the inside line for the lead. Through turn 5, tries to get the job done. Bit of a lean on there. Commensus now through on Samu. Ruti leads. Commensus now just barely in second. Samu still running side by side with him. The Inters are not coming into play just yet. Commensus tries to go around the outside of turn 7. Tries to hang it on in there. Now to the inside of turn number 8. Samu's still there on that sort of hard. Gets hemmed off into the wall and Commensus soon he's into second. Great driving there from them both. Commensus second. Samu in third. Lynx there in fourth. It's not Inters. Neymar's running the back of Jerry. You can tell it's not Inters. Neymar's down the inside of Jerry for into turn 10 at Singapore Sling, gets the job done. Oh, and Elliot just has to move out the way of Jerry there. And Harry Banks on the set of softs is coming through as well, outside of Anderson Bridge. Gets the job done. Through he's into 7th. Oh my god, what a race. Ruti leads, comments to the second, then 1.4 seconds clear of Samu. Here comes Harry Banks to the inside of Jerry. Doesn't think about it, the Aston Martin on the back of the Mercedes. But look at the gap that the mediums have got. The medium runners are into play at this stage. The rain is still light out on track. It's not really affecting the track surface from my perspective at this moment in time. And Harry Banks has just gone for the inside of Jerry into the grandstand. Beautiful stuff. Harry Banks. I know Jerry's on a set of inters, but come on. You do not get an overtake there too often. Harry through. And now going for Neymar and towards turn 22. Oh, and he makes contact with Neymar. Still side by side. Ruti leads. Comments to the second. Samu in third. Links in fourth. Harry Banks to the inside line. Should get the job done. Neymar falls off track. He has to back off, and Harry Banks does get the job done. He's soon into fifth. But Links now, those inters are beginning to start to come into play. Even though DRS is not disabled yet, I can tell the inters are beginning to come into play. Softs struggling at this stage. Harry Banks, though, making light work of Links. And now, look at who's pairing him behind. Neymar to the outside line. Oh, around the outside of the Memorial corner at turn 7. Oh. Harry Banks fourth, Neymar on fifth. More twists and turns on a 90-minute football match with England playing. Ruti leads the way. Comensus in second. Samu there in third. Harry Banks in fourth. What has this race just turned into? Absolute brilliant stuff. And to be honest, pop from Hawk, who I think had damage, nobody made contact off that safety car restart. Phenomenal stuff from everyone. Who said Singapore didn't deliver? Who said Singapore didn't deliver? Comments us on the back of Ruti. The rain is getting a lot heavy. You can tell now as Ruti locks up into towards 10-14 and he goes up into the wall. And surely these guys have got to pit in for a set of inters. Sooner rather than later, you would imagine. Samu and Harry Banks third and fourth. Neymar in fifth. Links, Jerry. At this moment in time, probably the gap to the leader is best. 6.6 seconds. They're still losing time, but not too much now. Inters are beginning to come into play. Samu's on 20 lap old hards, but they're acting like they're the set of intermediate compounder tyre at this stage. The hards are completely the wrong tyre to be on. Same with the softs. DRS is now enabled. Don't know for how long, but DRS is now enabled. Coming in towards turn number 1. Ruti leads. Comments a second. And Harry Banks now through and he's into third on Samu, who made a mistake at the final corner. Harry Banks through and he's into third and he makes a mistake. Huge snap of oversteer. Recovers the car somehow. Does a full 360. And Harry Banks round at a potential podium contention. And here's the battle for the race lead. Routine commentalist to the outside line through turn 6. Now the outside of Memorial corner at turn 7. Goes all the way around the outside of the fin. And the brick does it. And it's a safety car. It is a safety car, and that was well timed. Commentalist takes the lead. Ruti in second. Round the outside of Memorial corner. Gets the job done on Ruti. There might have been a little bit of an off track there from Commentalist. Didn't really get the camera angle for that, but Ruti in second, I can say, is behind us. Harry Banks has retired out on track. I can only assume that is because he's got no front wing on that car, and that is why he is retired out of the race. And we'll soon see, because he'll pull off just now. Hopefully his car will still be there. Hawk is coming through this part of the track, so we will get answers. As Hawk has to stick to the Delta time. He'll pull off down in towards turn 7, I think, so this should be an easy thing to do. Yeah, pulls off the inside. And looking at that car, yeah, no front wing on the car by the looks. Can't really see it from that camera angle, but it looks like there's no front wing. And Harry Banks out of the race. Comes to third retirement. Out on track. Commensus leads. Ruti in second. Samu in third. What does this do? Does this save everyone on the set of inters? I think it does. I think Links, Jerry, Elliott and Blackbox are saved. The rest are going to be, I would say, screwed, I guess. Commentalist in. And Ruti in. And that was a late call coming into pit lane for both of them. That will get looked at by the stewards if pit entries are getting looked at. Samu in. Neymar into pits. And look, interrunners continue on. No need for them to pit in. And Commentalist, everyone that stayed out under the safety car, on that set of medium compounder tyre, or on that set of dry compounder tyre, have now seen themselves down 5th, 6th and 7th. Obviously saved by the safety car. They're going to be a much fresher compounder tyre. But who knows what's going to happen. My goodness me. Links leads the way. Jerry in second. We'll get the interval timings back up for everyone. And you can tell it's going to be DRS disabled because look at the spots of rain. And look at the rain actually now, because it is quite light now. Out on track, affecting the track surface. So Links leads the way. Jerry in second. Elliott in third. Blackbox there in fourth. Jamie and Ivan saying, what happened now? What happens now, indeed, I think is the best answer in terms of this. A little bit of a thing about Boss Wanted. He has left the chat again. So he, unfortunately, doesn't look like he's going to be taking any more part in TML for this season anyways. Which, I think, to be fair, when you come back off 2 weeks, give it 2 weeks and then leave again, not really the best outlook from your perspective, and not really the best outlook from the league's perspective either. So, I think with that, Season 9, I don't think we'll be knocking on your door, let's put it that way. Links leads away from Jerry in second, Elliot in third, Black Buckles in fourth. This is the perfect time, by the way, to see if I can do a Google Translate on that comment that we got a little bit earlier on with the safety car now being out for the last lap or so. So I will have a gander at what I can do in terms of the chat. Hang on, can I now actually copy that message? No. Right, here we go. Google Translate time. I will translate what Herminder was saying a little bit earlier on. That's if now Google Translate can work for me. Might have to refresh it. Absolute joys. Absolute joys. Right. Here we go. Oh god. If I go quiet, I'm doing Google Translate. So, here we go. Got the first part as good race, which was good. Give me a second. Looks like he was saying, Hermindo was saying that the race might become more of a repetitive race. I think that's what he was saying. Quicker way of doing it. I'm just typing it manually, it's quicker for me. And it makes it differ. Comments on the set of softs! What? Comments this is on a set of soft compound tyre! Eh? Absolutely baffling. Jamie puts it right. I think this guy's crazy. I'm gonna have to chat to him tomorrow on WR comms about what his intentions are about this race. Goodness me. There's racing, and then there's commentalist. He probably won't like me saying that, but still. Yeah, my Google Translate is now broke once again, so I might have to do what he was saying. Ivan saying I think I'll be dead after this race. I think I'll be going to sleep after this race, to be honest. When you go into photos... Oh, okay. I'll try that, if I can. And judging by comments that's nearly spinning that on track, that is him going to be potentially out of this race. Yeah, doesn't look like... Yeah, doesn't look like the thing actually works. Comments has just spun underneath 1014. And that is why you don't go into soft compound tyres on a soaking wet track. Oh, it's Lynx! My god, nearly goes into the barrier coming out of turn number 18. These guys have got a death wish, honestly. Lynx leads the way, Jerry in second, Elliot in third, safety car now in this lap, Commentus is off the back, and now we go racing once again. Lap 25 out of 31. Lynx in the lead, Jerry in second, Elliot in third, Blackbox there in fourth, Sandwich right at the back of Routian towards turn number 1. Tries to think about going around the outside of the Alpine, doesn't get the job done. But a clean restart by all commenters into the pit lane. I think he may as well call it the day at this point, because I don't think he's going to get another safety car in this race. Lynx, Jerry, Elliot top 3. And now down the straight, down towards Raffles Boulevard for the 25th time. Lynx leading the way. Jerry in second, Elliot in third, Blackbox in fourth. To be honest, driving standards, apart from retirements out on track, driving standards have been very, very good tonight. Very, very good. I can't really pick a flaw with anyone's driving, to be honest, here tonight, out of those that are still continuing. Obviously, Car Mentalist going and just had a soft compound tyre, you can pick a flaw out of that, and then everyone going on a set of inters, which turned out to be absolutely correct. But there we are. Who knows what's going to happen in this race for the final 6.5 laps or so. Links, Jerry, Elliott, Blackbox top 3. Oh, Blackbox there in 4th. Just makes a slight mistake there on the inside curb. He's got 2-lap pressure tyres. 2-lap pressure tyres around this track is going to amount to around 8 to 10% difference in terms of tyre wear. It's around about, if you take it from a set of mediums, which these inters sometimes act like, it's around about 5% tyre wear per lap around here on the set of intermediate compounder tyre. So if that's the case, probably more than 10%, as Blackbox really struggling in this car. Coming out of the left-hander of 17, now to the left-hander of 18, and again struggling underneath the grandstand. Blackbox, the championship leader, really struggling at this moment in time. When was Blackbox up there? His pit stop, 6-lap tyres, 2-lap younger tyres, and he's up there, and he's got a championship to try and defend, because Elliott is in 3rd, he's ahead of him currently. Elliott to Blackbox, the gap I think is only going to be a 3-point swing to Elliott, so the gap is going to be 22 points I think, if I'm not mistaken. Judging by what was said a little bit earlier on in the chat, I think it's going to be 22 points. Jerry ran on the back of Lynx though, coming out of turn number 5. Oh, big step of oversteer from Samu in the background. Keeps the car going in a straight line, luckily. Nobody around him either, so we've recovered that well. Still in 6th. As Car Mentalist, update on him. He's down the back of the field there in 9th position, still continuing on, which is good. He wants to pick up those points, which I think is fair play, because there's 11 points up for grabs for the person who finishes in 9th, and a minimum of 8 points that would have been had tonight. But then on, you can't, even if you try and give drivers what they want, they still put it back in your face. Links, Jerry, Elliott top 3, across the Anderson Bridge once again. Jerry looking on Links there, trying to look for the move. Blackbox now struggling in 3rd, and I think this is really going to be the split up in this race that this is deserving of at this moment in time. As Links currently holding the lead of the race from Jerry in 2nd, Elliott in 3rd, Blackbox there in 4th. Everyone continuing on at a great speed. As Nathan Clark in the Discord said he's saying, completely forgot it was Thursday. Nice. I can understand if he's had a busy week, to be honest, but there we are. There we are. Lings, Jerry, Elliott, top 3, coming to the left-hander of turns 22 and 23 for the 26th time. Link's first time I've seen him go wide there through the final couple of corners. Extends the gap to 9/10 of a second. Uses a bit of ERS. And now Elliott bearing down on the back of Jerry at this stage. You would have thought, by the way, with Ruti, Samu, Neymar and the likes being on fresh inters, you would have thought they're making an impact. They're not. The guys up front with warmer inters have got the pace at this stage. Link's sideways. Coming out of turn number 5 there. Again, Elliott on the back of Jerry, using up the ERS. He's going to think about going for a move here. I think he might. The Frenchman on the back of the Dutchman. So the outside line of turn number 7. Forced off track. Jerry put him out there, to be honest. Elliott there on the inside line, though. Jerry tries to go all the way around the outside through turn 8. These two hate each other. Inside the Discord. Oh, they're going to love each other now out on track. Jerry just about holds on for a second and nearly collides with the wall in the meantime, and Blackbox and Ruti are going to be back in this soon. But Jerry through needs into 2nd. No drawn quarter. Jerry is somehow going to spin this car into the wall. He cannot keep going, and Elliott having to really feather the dorsal as well. And he dives it down the inside of the hairpin. And that's just silly from Elliott to the inside line. Jerry just about saw him coming, still stays 2nd. And a huge step of oversteer from Blackbox. Ruti now 4th, Blackbox down into 5th, Elliott may as well stay there because he's gaining more points. This is mad. Elliott in 3rd, on the back of Ruti, Blackbox there in 5th, and Elliott all over the back of Jerry. This is surely going to end in tears for somebody. The amount of car control, Jerry is twitching like mad. He did this in WO on Friday and we were complaining about his setup. He's sideways at every corner. It's not Tokyo drifting, for goodness sake. But the TF man, if it's his setup, he likes it. He's there in 2nd still. Elliot there in third, and as I say, Elliot a little bit too late, I think, on the brakes into the hairpin. He could have only gone down the inside, otherwise there would have been monumental contact, I think. So Elliot risked it, and in the end they still remain in the same position. But for how long? Because Elliot, if I was him, I'd be so enticed to go for the move this lap around. Through the right hand return 5, splashing through the puddle. Heavy rain now here in Singapore, maybe even full wet compound tyres. Not to the end of this race, but certainly full wet weather, I would say, at this stage. Lynx leads the way, Jerry in second, Elliot there in third, and still Jerry about to keep that car in a straight line, and I don't know honestly how he's doing it. I really don't know how he's doing it at this stage. This is bad. Samu, by the way, is on the back of Black Box, by the way. Black Box, who's obviously struggling in terms of his new pedals, struggling in terms of this wet weather. Samu, on the back of him, doesn't have a penalty, so this is going to be for track position. 5th and 6th position out on track. But look at how they're fighting the car. You can tell it's full wet weather. And ideally, it'd be full wet if it wasn't so close to the end of this race. The rain is absolutely chucking it down here in Singapore. Bit of liken, to be honest, like to TML back in the day, where we had dry weather, then inters, then wets, then inters, back to dries in 31 laps. I remember that very well because I commentated on that race as Sammy captured the curve through turn 17. And Elliot now under pressure. So much under pressure. Jerry has now suddenly picked up the pace. He's now getting into his rhythm. And when Jerry gets into his rhythm, he's dangerous. 2.2 seconds. He's only gained 2 tenths per second. Only gained 2 tenths per second. But Jerry is catching. And if he takes the same amount of time as he did on Lynx, maybe a little bit more, maybe around 5-6 tenths, could be on the back of him come the final lap of the race. Yeah, I've been saying he'd put wets on at this stage. I wouldn't. It's so close to the end of the race. It's lap 29 or 31. Don't see anybody at the top guys, to be honest, pitting in. Maybe someone like Hawk, Neymar, but what is there to gain? What is there to gain apart from no fastest lap? Because that was set in the dries. So you can't get the fastest lap, you can't get extra points. Black Box on the back of Ruti down the straight, trying to get the job done. Ruti, I think, had a major mistake somewhere at the beginning of the lap. He's there in 4th, Black Box there in 5th, and Sammy there in 6th, leaving to Sandwich Gaming. There's commenters coming in the pits. That's surely going to be full wets, you would imagine. Should be for full wets. And indeed, yeah, commenters going full wets. He's got nothing to lose. He's at the back of the field. He would have been there anyways. So, they're in 9th. Wet compounder tyres on. Fascinating though, as Jerry begins to gain. He has already taken 5 tenths of a second out of Lynx this lap around. Talent Factory 1-2 at this stage. Elliot just simply does not have the pace to live up to these guys at this stage. And again, the complaint might come, it's a Talent Factory 1-2 still. They've ended up in this place because they played a tactical game. No, they haven't. They haven't. If they played a tactical game, it's a tactical game of staying out and picking the right strategy, when I thought there was a complete and utter glitch going on. Oh! That one's for the camera books, I think, there. Goodness me, Jerry out sideways again. Coming out. Lynx is doing a phenomenal job. In the end, Lynx, to be honest, has absolutely deserved this race win. He's looked dominant, but under pressure as Ruti has spun. Coming out of through turn 19, so Ruti spins. Coming out of 19, gets Samu and Black Box through into 4th and 5th, and Ruti, I think, is going to retire coming in the pits here. Was he going to go full set of wets? And he picks up a 3-second penalty. That's really unfair on him. Into the pits. Might retire Ruti, and yeah, he does. Don't blame him, to be honest. Made a mistake. I would have done the same thing, I think, with 2 laps to go in the race. Don't blame him. Ruti obviously will come back a lot better than what he has shown tonight. And apart from that mistake, he was doing well. He was in 4th, he was on the back of Black Box. But again, mistakes just creeping in. Final 2 laps of the race. Yellow Geeson saying, where's the F2 stream? F2 stream not on. F1 is the place where you want to be, and look at the gap. It's 1.1 seconds between Lynx and Jerry. Might seem like a lot. Trust me, it's not. Lynx 1.3. Jerry there in 2nd. Elliot there in 3rd. And May saying, yeah, people don't like points. As I say, back to my earlier point, no matter what you do for drivers, they throw it back in your face. Simple as that. Lynx is really struggling now. Lynx really struggling. Jerry right on the back of him, coming through the hairpin, and Lynx is nearly in the wall. Oh my goodness me, Lynx so close to the wall on the exit of the hairpin. Jerry there in second. Elliot there in third. The front three look quite secure. Blackbox and Samu I don't think are going to feature in this somehow. Harry Banks saying as well, can you reset the track? If you can, then I'm tired for no reason. I would say as long as there's no one around, then yes. I know PSGL do that, but look at the gap. Lynx and Jerry, 6/10 of a second. Lynx, his tyres might be done for here. Jerry is on the back of him. Talon Factory 1-2, Elliot again does not have any pace. If that argument is going to be given again, that it's a Talon Factory 1-2, you may as well not sign up for Season 9 if these guys are going to be here next season. Lynx leads the way, Jerry in second, and an absolute downpour here in Singapore on the final 5 kilometres of this race. Lynx sets about going for the race win. Jerry sets about hunting down his Talon Factory teammate, and he slides his way once again, coming out of turn number 3. This is fascinating to watch. Lynx, I think, has just got too much enough, but he slides as well, nearly into the wall, coming out of turn number 5. It is literally feathering the throttle on full wet compounder tyres here, on a set of inters, on a full wet track. That's what we're seeing. Somebody could skip Pan off, and that might be the end of that race. Lynx leads the way. Jerry in second. Elliot there in third. Samu was side by side with Black Box, and he's in the wall. Side by side, Samu in the wall. White side and plate damage on the car. Just about keeps the car back going again. If he can get round, he could still pick up 5th position. Lynx and Jerry though. 0.8 of a second. Lynx has managed this final lap very well so far. Jerry though, the middle sector is where he is stronger. Does he dare think about going for a dive bomb? He's got potentially down to 14, but only if he's close enough. He's Tokyo drifting so much, I don't think that's going to be enough. And again, sideways. Literally, one snap of oversteer could end you up in the wall. Lynx leading, coming through turn 14. Goes a bit deep. Jerry again, sideways. And that's what's costing them. If he had a much better setup, I think he would have got Lynx by now. But Lynx leading the way. Jerry there in second. Coming through the left-hand of turn 17. Coming through the left-hand of 18 and 19. You can hardly see Lynx in front from Jerry's perspective. Underneath the grandstand for the final time. Lynx and Jerry right on the back of each other. Lynx has produced a brilliant performance. Jerry, to be fair, from well down in the back of the field. I said watch out for him in this race. Damn well meant it. Lynx coming through the final corner, powering his way to victory. Lynx takes the line to win here in Singapore. Jerry there in second. Elliot there in third. Did not have the pace to live up to the 2 in front. They're just quicker drivers at the end of the day. Black Box is in the end in 4th. And Samu, with that white side end plate damage, is going to get round in 5th. Great race from Samu's perspective. Neymar coming in towards the final couple of corners of turn 6. By the way, commenters catching so much on these guys. Few more, 100% race, I think he would have had them. Neymar into the wall, coming out of the final corner into P6. Hawk, practice, doesn't really make perfection, but he gets round and picks up 7 and a big haul of points as well. And Fireworks Fly here in a wet, soggy night sky in Singapore as Colmentus now comes through the final couple of corners. Not as race at all. From what could have been a potential win, has been thrown away in terms of a strategy call that really just did not work in the end. And he comes to the line to finish in 8th. He will be absolutely annoyed. He could have produced a lot better than that, I think. Yellow saying as well, not allowed, but a penalty. Harry Banks was beached. Ah, okay. He was beached. I think in that case, if he was beached, then potentially so. Potentially so, but there we are. We'll have a look into that rule, of course, for Season 9. But there we go. Driver of the day was Samu, I think, awarded by the in-game fans. And what was a absolute, I don't know what race in Singapore. Nothing that I've really ever seen before. And I hope not to see again, to be honest. Everyone thinking it was going to go on to a set of inters. I thought it was a spectator glitch. It wasn't. And now we see the podium celebrations, finally. Top step of the podium goes the Talon Factory man of Lynx. And he produces a... It looks like he's getting ready for the gym there, to be honest. Lynx takes the win here in Singapore. A great race from his perspective. And in the end, I think deserving the drive of the day. He absolutely took that race right from the front. Turn 1 was crucial. Turn 1, if he didn't get ahead of Commensalus coming out of turn number 3 on the first lap, he wouldn't have won that race. It's as simple as that. He wouldn't have won that race. Jerry probably would have won. And it still probably would have been a TF1 too. It was brilliant to watch. Lynx, though, taking the win. Taking my drive of the day as well. Takes the win here in Singapore with only 2 more rounds to go in the season. But there we go. Are we going to get the grid? Are we going to get the results? I hope so. Commenters has left, so potentially we're not going to get the lobby results here. He saw them at the end of the live stream though. Oh, here we go. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. Just goes black screen. Typical. And it's telling me to save the game as well, which is not that good. Very strange indeed. Very strange going on. We didn't get the race results at the end of the stream there, but of course they will be taken from the end of lap 31, which was Lynx, Jerry, Elliot, Blackbox, Samu, Neymar, Hawk and Commensalus. Anybody might look into getting penalties removed. To be fair, very uneventful. Even though we had really good safety car restarts, it was a really good race in terms of driving standards. I didn't think I'd be saying that tonight, to be honest, at Singapore. This is why we kept it on the EML calendar next season, which has been released in recent weeks. Oh, in recent days, I should say. But, yeah, Lynx taking the victory, Jerry in second, Elliot in third. My voice is gone. I haven't had a drink all this live stream, so I have put my voice on the line for you guys. More action to come though, hopefully with a double header tomorrow night for you for F3 and F4. It should be Ivan Tonchek taking the win, taking the live stream for F3, not taking the win. He might take the win eventually, but Ivan Tonchek is going to take you for the action for F3, and then it should be Neymar and Chicken for F4. Of course, any changes to that we'll let you know on Twitter and through the Discord server if you're not already in. Big thank you to everyone on the chat for keeping me entertained, certainly, for keeping everyone going in terms of the live stream, blaming Cody's as well for when the rain was coming out. That was a fun fact. But there we are, Lynx taking the win, absolutely deserved it, takes my drive of the day as well. Looks rather dominant, even though it just wasn't. It was not dominant at all. Lynx handled the pressure, took that pressure, channeled it into his own strategy, channeled it into his own race, and he won. You can like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're new to the League Racing TV channel. As I say, more action to come for F3 and F4 tomorrow night, but I've been James Head. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.